When analysts jump from tool to tool and alert to alert, how do we ensure that they can stay focused on what matters?
Yeah, so I can start with this one. Alert fatigue has again, been used since I was in the SOC. It's been used to try and combat the time taken to respond to an alert. How do we work on those mundane tasks? Because I remember getting in many alerts where I would have to, so for example, suspicious inbound firewall denies, and having to individually look at those. And it was like 100 alerts at once. And they were mostly false positives. So alert fatigue's real. It still happens. It happened to me 8 years ago, and we're still seeing it today. And it's really, why are we actually still seeing it today? Why hasn't anything changed? And in order to kind of what you said about, how do we ensure that analysts stay focused, it's all about giving them something interesting to look at, right? Because we talk about, how do we not interrupt that flow? And first of all, we can go by automation. So not just automation in terms of, all the way to resolution, all the way to let's block this straight away. Really simply, we can utilize automation to enrich an alert. So instead of me having to go to my various open source intelligence tools to look up this one IP address, I can have all that information provided to me straight away. So I can just make that informed decisions, or analysts can make that informed decisions to then isolate that machine or close that alert down. So it's really that low hanging fruit almost that helps combat that alert fatigue.
When we speak to SOCs and we ask a very open question, what would you like to automate? And it's an intentionally provocative question. And normally get two answers: everything, or we don't know. And that's, I'm not sure which one's scarier, to be honest, but it's probably we don't know. Because if we're talking about alert fatigue, they should know the type of alert that is causing them to be fatigued, or alerts if they're numerous or different types. But there should be consistencies. And what Liz was talking about is that the action that an analyst has to do after the alert is fired will be consistent. Who is user? What is IP? Liz gave some examples there. So really, when we're talking to SOCs, don't pick that one horrible task on that horrible system that you don't like doing, that you have to do once every 6 months or every year. Do the things that you do little and often. If you can shave off 30 seconds here, a minute here, and you do that numerous times a day, week, month, then there's your return of investment on your SOC, and there's automation being key for you. And there's your reduction on burning out, because you're not doing the same thing over and over again. And that's the stuff that drove me up the wall, repeating those mundane tasks. And also thinking about from the risk perspective again, that's the stuff that people in the SOC would forget to do or intentionally not do because they have a bias to know what the result is. So they assume it's benign, or they'll assume it's malicious, and they'll just quickly try and close the incident down. And that's the wrong behavior. That introduces risk, which the SOC is there to avoid, right? Or reduce the risk. Sorry.
Patrick, I think that humans seek out the new and novel. And when we're running through something that is extraordinarily repetitive, especially if it's a set of tasks in a row, we tend to forget things or skip over things because it's not new and novel. It's repetitive. I think this is why pilots and surgeons have pre-flight or pre-surgery checklists that they go through to make sure that they've flipped the right levers or washed their hands in the right order. And when you're talking about some of that automation, I feel like it's that checklist, but it actually goes through and it does that behavior. And that's the behavior that you want so that you can get to, in case of the pilot taking off in a safe way or landing in a safe way. And is that what you're seeing here is like the part that's new and novel, the investigation, running down and understanding if this is a malicious activity? That's what you want somebody to be able to focus on and bring all of their talent and their flow to, and not forget, we've got to log this or write that down or check here for information, or make an assumption. You want to move those things into automation because it's 20, 30 seconds, but it counts that you had the discipline to do it every single time.
Absolutely.